So at This Iberian Life, we connect English-speaking folks that want to buy a home in Spain or Portugal with local English-speaking experts, so English-speaking attorneys, lenders, and like Susana Zamora, real estate agents. And so today, we're speaking with Susana Zamora from Almerimar.
Almerimar.
Yes, in the Almeria province of Spain.
Yes.
All right, so let's sort of set this on the map for everybody right now.
Okay, Almeria. Hi, Eddie. Hi, everyone. Almeria is a province of the region of Andalusia. Okay, Andalusia is the most western region, and it's quite big. There are 8 provinces there, and we are the very, very south at the bottom at the Mediterranean, right? Yeah.
If you look on a map, I've looked on a map a lot of Spain, and it just looks like that would be an amazing coast, right?
Yes.
Because you're getting that southeast corner of Spain.
Yeah, because we have the Mediterranean coast, which is a calmer sea and a warmer sea too, which is quite interesting for me.
Yeah.
And we have natural parks that are of national importance. UNESCO had given the importance of this natural park, where you have beautiful natural coves. People go snorkeling, skydiving. No. Scuba diving.
Okay, yeah.
And you can have lovely nature life there. Yeah.
So let's kind of, even though it has what looks like it would be a prime location in Spain, it feels like it's also off the beaten path, though.
Yes, it's a hidden gem, I have to say. In a way, sometimes I want to keep it for myself.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be selfish. I'm going to share it with you. It's a place that people don't get there because it doesn't have a name. People know Malaga, people know Barcelona, but people don't hear about Almeria. People ask you, where is it, right? So when you get there, you discover like a gem. You find a place that is. You have the blue ocean all over the places. We have 300 days of sun a year. So that means our average temperature is about 19 degrees throughout the year. So we don't have very hot summers. Neither we have very cold winters. So it's very mild throughout the year. Yeah.
It sounds perfect.
Yeah, it is. Actually, it is perfect. I've been living in other countries, and I chose for the second time where I'm living in Almerimar, and one of the reasons is the weather, actually.
So how did you find yourself in Almerimar? You're from Argentina,
I'm from Argentina, but my grandparents come from Almeria region.
Okay.
So it's like the third generation came back to Europe, and I came to the place of my grandparents. I didn't know where I was coming to, but then I was surprised.
Okay, so walk me through the expat life, the life that an expat would have if they decided to move to Almerimar.
Almerimar, yes.
Almerimar.
You have to come over
here,
over there, so you can get it easily.
Yeah.
I've been working in the real estate business since 2005. I was liaising with especially British clients, right? So although it's not exactly the same kind of expat, but the procedure is very similar in the end, right? What you find there is a much more laid-back way of life. Everything is at a slower pace, which is really nice. And people always say, I like fiestas and siestas, right? But then when they want the paperwork done, they have a rush. So I said, if you like fiestas and siestas, don't expect the bureaucracy to be any faster, right? So it is a different pace of life. You have to just accommodate to a life without rushing, yeah? And you can see that in the shops. You can see that when you go to the town hall or everything's like, oh, do you have an appointment? Oh, you have to come the next day, things like that. I know it can be nerving sometimes, but it all goes together with the atmosphere, right? You can have some nice tapas at any beach bar or any bar. In Almeria, normally you buy a beer or a glass of wine for €3 and you get a free tapa, so that's also quite an interesting
good
appeal,
deal. Yeah, a $3 beer and a
and a
free
tapa,
tapa. Yeah.
2 or 3 tapas and you have lunch.
Yeah, you're in good shape. So when I'm talking to clients, I often mirror what you just said, which is that you are coming to Spain or Portugal for a different pace of life, and so you have to also understand that the people that are going to be taking care of your visas and your basically day-to-day life are there for the same reason.
Yeah,
and so
they're also more laid back.
yeah. And so you take the good with the bad, and you decide
Yes.
if it makes sense for you. So let's talk about the need for speaking Spanish. Right? There are parts of Spain where English speakers might never really have to learn Spanish because everybody speaks English. Is that the case in
It could be the
Almerimar?
case. It could be the case. I've seen people coming from England 20 years ago telling me, I want to come here and I want to have a Spanish life and I want to start learning
Yes.
Spanish like next week. And they don't, because there is always an English community, okay? But our English community blends in very nicely with the Spanish community. It's not that they are a little ghetto or anything, It's very nicely done. You can learn Spanish because you have free lessons at the town hall, And also there are always Spanish people that are that would like to do like exchange of languages, So you have a coffee and you learn. If you don't want to learn at all, especially retired people, sometimes they don't maybe need it, right? Because if you go to the bank, they will help you. If you go to the supermarket, they will understand you and all that. But younger generations or young families, the kids pick it up like in 2 months they're fluent in Spanish, more or less. And the parents would need it more if you are like a young family. And then depends on what you do. If you work from home and you have a work from the US or English-speaking job, you wouldn't need it. But it's a mix. Some people decide on purpose, and some people are a little bit more.
Yeah, and just to be clear, I recommend learning Spanish. I'm
Yeah.
doing my best to learn it, and you're supposed to keep your brain longer. Too,
Yeah, of
when
course.
you know multiple languages.
Keeps you young.
So yeah, it definitely keeps you young and frustrated. So because
You can't have it all, can you?
Yeah, you can't have it all. Okay, so let's talk about the home buying process. When because there's a notable amount of differences. There are some notable differences between buying a home in Spain and buying a home in the United States. So let's talk about how people, like, how do you find the right property for a client?
Okay. Normally, when I tour someone around, I do a little bit of a tourist guide because normally they are not familiar with the area, explain about the area and try to understand their needs and their desires, in what stage of life they are and what they would like to do. Once they are a little bit familiar with the area, we look at different options within their budget. If they want something beachfront or if they want something more inland, all these kind of criteria. I used to do it like I had them for 3 days. We were touring around the province the whole of these 3 days. And by the end of the 3 days, we had, if they did make their minds up, we had a bank account opened, sometimes a solicitor if they wanted to, and everything in place for the following steps. So the next time the person needs to come is just when we go to notary. The biggest difference with the US, you may have noticed, is that we have a public notary figure everywhere, every time we buy a property. Most of the times, I would say, between the agent and the notary, you have all the due diligence and you don't need anything else, okay? When I have someone, an expat coming to me, I go to the police station, we get an NIE number in 20 minutes, yeah?
Oh.
We open a bank account. There is a little bit of paperwork there because they need to understand your income source and things like that. And then there is a deposit to secure the property. And depending on when the funds will be available for that client, we set a date, like in a month, in 2 months, in 6 months, whatever the time frame it needs to be. And either they come for that day to sign and pay and get the keys, or they have a power of attorney granted to someone, either me sometimes or the actual solicitor if they had one.
And the NIE number is basically the number you need to do anything in Spain. So that would be like your social security number if you lived in an environment where you weren't afraid to give out your social security number. So
Yeah,
it was an adjustment for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Spain does not have an MLS like we're used to in the United States and Canada. So a lot of times I hear North Americans complaining about the home buying process here because they feel like when they work with an agent, that agent only wants to show them properties that are listed by their brokerage.
No, but we do share properties. There are, and we have a network of agencies that we do share. And let's say most modern agencies are all for sharing and collaborating. Yeah, it's not a problem. So if a client sends me links of any property, because in the end, for the client, for the buyer, they are looking at the property. They don't care whose website it is on.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter. They just send us the link. It helps us narrow down their needs and their likes, and we show them the property. Because when you start having a rapport, a relationship with that client, you understand their needs and what they're looking for. So it happened to me. I had this American client. She bought 5 properties over the phone, and I was her eyes here. And 2 or 3 were through another agency, and 2 were my own or something like that. So it doesn't matter whose website it is on. We can show them all of them because it is all about finding the right property and getting the feel, because after you have this relationship with the client, you get a feel for what they really want.
How much time does it take for a client to get access to a property?
To actually buy it, you mean?
No, to actually just see it. Because one of the things I noticed when we were looking for a home in Spain was in the United States, we're used to, I see it Tuesday at 2 o'clock. I want to see it Tuesday evening. And I found in Spain that wasn't always the case. You typically have a couple days to arrange showings? Or?
No, it depends. It depends because in some cases the actual owner lives there, so you have to arrange it around her or his life. In other cases, if it is through another agency, we need to see their availability too. But if we have enough time and we say in 3 weeks or 1 month, whatever, this client is coming for a trip of 2-3 days, we arrange the viewings in those 3 days. Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about food in Almeria.
Yeah. Food is lovely. I mean, if you like seafood, you have a wide variety of seafood. You have the tapas, what we were saying. They are very affordable. And also we have paella, of course.
How about vegetables? Because it feels like having driven past, that's where like a good amount of the vegetables for all of Europe are grown.
Yes, we are like the orchard of Europe. In Almeria region specifically, we have intensive growing of vegetables, which means it is done in greenhouses. Yeah, so that's our main industry in the area. Actually, there are a lot of expats that come to our area because they work for international brands, like brands related to the agribusiness. Yeah, so they come here for the job and they end up living there. We have fresh vegetables, all the aubergines or eggplants. Tomatoes. What else we have? Peppers, all kind of peppers. Watermelon, melon. That's like the main thing that is produced there. But then they have a variety of everything. So everything is fresh, and you are more very easily. You get in touch and you make friends with the farmer, and they bring you bags of vegetables to your door.
That's a good friend to have.
Very fresh.
So you have golfing?
We have in Almerimar area, we have a 27-hole golf course. In the whole of Almeria area, we have, 6-7 golf courses. So you can go try a different one every day. But in my area, it's a 27-hole golf course. And we have a marina that is the second most important in Andalusia, because it has like 1,000 moorings, and the depth, as far as I understand, it's not my thing, the depth of the boats, you can get very big boats in this marina. So that's why it's important too.
Yeah. And
Sierra Nevada is only 2 hours away.
That's it.
You can go skiing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But while we were on boating, we found out earlier that there's a Freedom Boat Club. So
In front of
those
my
of you,
office.
yes, in front of Susana's office. So I was a member of Freedom Boat Club in Sarasota. I still am, once a member, always a member. And so if you're an American and you're a member of Freedom Boat Club, you need to come visit Susana. And then, as you know, you can just, sign out the boat.
Yeah. My office is right in front of them. So yes.
It's a great concept, and they're new to Spain. They were
Very new. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
When I bought my membership, the salesperson said, "Yeah, they're coming to Spain. They're coming to Spain." And then I checked year after year, and then this time I checked, and they have like 6, maybe 10 locations up and down the coast.
Yeah, I think it's been like maybe a year that they've been
Okay.
there. Yeah, not too long. So yeah, it must be a nice experience.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, that's
If
good,
you like
that's good.
boating, it's a great way to do it.
Okay, yeah, you don't need to own it and then have all the inconveniences, right?
Yeah. So how about mortgages? Tell me about the Spanish mortgages that are available right now.
Yeah. The mortgages for expats, they normally would give you a little bit of a less percentage, right? It could be between 50 and 60% of the price of the property, what you get. You need to take into account that on top of the price that you see listed, you need to add 7% tax, ITP tax, and like a 2% notary registrar office. Yeah, that's all you need to take care of. The mortgage the bank would ask you for all your income sources, and if they see it clearly, you get a 50 to 60% loan to value. Yeah,
Okay.
it could take between 3, 5, 6 weeks, depending on how swift everything is with bringing the information over and everything.
And what are the rates?
We have as low as 2.3 fixed rate mortgages. That's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 2.3. So let's go through the pros and the cons as I know it, right? In comparison to what somebody, I'll just use the United States as an example. So in the United States, our taxes paid at closing in most states are very low, right? We're talking 7 to 8% tax here buying. However, the interest rates you're looking at right now, when the day we're recording, 2.3%, 2.5%.
Fixed rate throughout the mortgage.
Yeah, and you'd compare that in the U.S. right now to high 6% range.
Wow.
And so that's a big savings. The other big savings is that while the taxes are really high on the purchase, the recurring taxes are really low. So what would be a tax on, say, a 500,000 euro
We
home?
have the council
an
tax,
annual
as we
basis.
call it. It's an annual tax, and you can pay anything, depending on the size of the house, from, say, 400 to maybe 800 euros a year.
A year, right?
Yeah.
So you compare that, you're going to pay that, at least that, each month.
Wow.
And so when you break it down, I typically see a break-even point of about 5 years. So over the first 5 years, you would have spent more on taxes buying a home in Spain than you would have in the United States. But then once you get past that, you're talking about total taxes throughout the year for about 400 or 500 euros. And then on insurance, home insurance, on a €500,000 home, what would you say the annual insurance premiums on?
Anything from 200 to 400 euros a year.
A year. So again, not a month, folks. That's a year.
A year.
So probably 4 to 5 years is the break-even point to get over that initial tax hump, and then your savings, your monthly expenses are just so low. So this has got to be very appealing for people on pensions, people on fixed budgets.
I think your pension lasts longer here, because the way of living is cheaper too. You're eating, going to the supermarket, and your services, utilities, I think they are cheaper. I think.
Yeah.
But that's what I've heard, that the pension lasts longer, which is always ideal.
That's
isn't
nice.
it?
Yeah, and it's the everyday conveniences are just easy, right? Everybody can afford a €1.50 cup of coffee.
Correct.
And so you sit down, you enjoy it. It's a great life.
Yeah. In the sun.
And you're in the sun as well. So let's talk about what the housing looks like and feels like. Let's just pick 500,000, so €500,000. What type of a home are you buying in?
It depends if you want the coast or if you want inland, because also the Alpujarras area, which is like the mountain area, is very nice too. It's colder, of course, but some people do prefer more of the mountains. You get much more for your money there, of course. But you can have like a nice villa with a nice plot of land for 500,000 euros, huge in the Alpujarras, okay? And in the coast, you can have like a top floor apartment with great views, first line from the beach, or like a townhouse, even with a private pool, you know. So there is a variety of things you can find. That's a very nice budget, and you can have a nice house. Even sometimes I would say you can buy your nice 300, 400, or 350,000 euros house, townhouse, and then with the other amount of money, 150, buy an apartment, rent it out, and get an income. You know, because maybe it's more than what you need, really.
Wonderful. How does cost of living compare in Almeria versus, say, Costa del Sol?
Everything is cheaper. I mean, not only that it is cheaper, but it is not so crowded. We don't have traffic jams. We don't have to wait and make too many lines to get somewhere, you know. Renting an apartment, it's like double in the Costa del Sol. Yeah. And you do get the massificated places. Everything is, for me, is when I go there, it's chaos.
Yeah.
I'm so laid back and easy going. I get into my office in 5 minutes. Okay, so I'm used to just having everything very handy. Yeah.
Chiringuitos.
Chiringuitos. That's
You
a
have
big
them?
thing. You learn the word.
Yes, I did.
We have many chiringuitos. Actually, there is a new sport in my area that an English lad told me that he goes beach bar crawling.
Oh, really?
So he starts with the very first one with the beer and have another one until the end. That's why he ends up crawling.
Yeah, and so it's a chiringuito is a beach bar.
Yes.
And they serve food and sometimes they'll grill the fish outside.
They have sardines or like seafood or paellas. They have nice paellas too. Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
So thank you so much, Susana. I hope everybody learned as much as I did. And
You're welcome, Eddie.
All right. So we'll have to talk again. But anyone that's interested in learning more about the Almerimar,
Almerimar, yes, it's okay.
anyone who's interested in learning more about Almerimar, I would love to connect you with Susana Zamora. All the contact information is right here on the screen. And we're here to help you find the right property in Spain or Portugal at This Iberian Life. Thank you so much, Susana.
You're very welcome. I'll hope to see you soon.